Can you hear me now, folks? Hopefully that's fixed it. Still no sound. Yes. Okay, there we go. Sorry, folks. So like I was saying, my PC decided it was going to reset everything overnight, even though I have it turned off. Don't know how that happened, but there we go. So this is one of the things it reset. All right, let's try again. Monday, Tuesday drive. Wednesday, we were looking for sell back down. Trains already left the station. Congrats those that traded it in Globex. That was a nice, clean move. That's what you were looking for. Like I said, yesterday was not the short opportunity on the drive up, but Globex clearly gave that trade back inside. We are opening up an inside bar, all right, and we're opening up inside current week's values range, with the 5-day now having crossed the 20-day and pointing downside. All right, we're also opening up negative GEX, and I'm expecting a very volatile day, and we'll see if there's positioning the last hour for what happens in Tesla and Google, and that's what everyone's going to be waiting for. Once we get that decision, we're going to get one of these moves, I would imagine. All right, so just be somewhat cautious today as we trade through the day and they start to position. It's likely to be whippy. Moving into the hourly. Let's bring this up for you. Increase this size. All right, you can see the multi-leg drive back up. This is the edge of the 3-month balance in here. All right, and we're fading from that at the moment. So we're leaving 3 months worth of participants stuck. You can see it right here. All right, everyone here is stuck. We've gone 1 leg, 2 leg, and we failed. Trains left the station. It's unfortunate. I was hoping we'd open up there today for the fade. So we have to watch this now for what it is going to set up next. So the first thing we're going to watch is value. All right, there's yesterday's value. Do we reject yesterday's value, or even earlier than that? Any rejection in front of yesterday's value we'll also consider. If they do that here or here, we're looking for a re-tap in of the overnight value area low, the white line, or even current week's value area low. Acceptance under that, we're looking for downside pressure. All right, if we simply come down here and reclaim this, that will be the bear trap down here, and we'll go back to value again. So we're watching very, very carefully. We don't really want to short down here. If we're going to short, we'd like to see some form of rejection here, or a little push inside and rejection for that move back down. We might very well range here today. I'm open to that being a possibility. If we drive up and we find acceptance and we hold value, all right, or we do a little dance like this, that's a long opportunity back up, and we'll look to trade back up to the top side of this again. All right, so we'll rotate yesterday's value. Once we get to the top side, the same thing we're looking at. Is there a failed breakout? Because remember, there's a 3-month range up here. Right, and are we going to come all the way down again, or are we going to find acceptance back inside previous week's value again and start to build out liquidity here, right, into close for this move? Open to all of those. Right, I'm open to all of those. If we have a look at the GEX, right, we're opening up negative gamma. We're under the big put wall right now. Right, which means what? Doesn't necessarily mean sell pops, but it definitely means an increased volatility in this market this morning. All right, positive GEX will happen if we can get back above value, previous day value area high, previous day point of control. Not seeing that right now, so negative GEX right now. In fact, let me just also, while we're here, of course, it's deleted everything I need. See if it will let me log in. Swatch, where's the pre? So measured move or expected move low of day, 28,878, 28,878, basically 900 down here. Okay, pre-market and expected move high of day, 29,443. Okay, so basically the whole of current week's value. Jesus. Okie dokie. All right, let's move up to the lower time frames, have a look what's going on, broader market. ES, move this to a 5-minute. Okay, same kind of story here, just in a range, giant range here on ES. You can see lows, highs, failed to break lower, breaks higher and then fails, come back down, holds the sweep, comes back up, pokes a little bit higher, comes back down. All right, we're just in here. It's very simple. There's no acceptance either side of this. So until we get a break either side of this, we're going to be stuck in here, and this can be very volatile. All right, this is big range, and again, this is opening up negative gamma as well, but it is holding put walls on ES right now, so it's looking a little bit stronger as we start to find a bid in some of the energy sectors. If we have a look at spiders, same kind of story. You can see there's just a giant range, right? And we just have to see, is there follow through downside under this or upside over this? We don't know. Probably comes later today, tomorrow. QQQ, same story. We're actually trapped between two gaps here, which is, it's really not the best kind of setup here. We have a gap fill potential above here, and we've got this open gap still down here into 696 from the Monday to Tuesday open. All right, and we're probably pulling back about 50% right now. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, and held the 61. So we'll see. Like maybe buyers want to have this drive back up to here, make a decision later today. We'll see. We'll see. All right, crude has continued to push higher. If we just zoom this out on a 30-minute, all right, increasing pressure here on crude. If it holds pullbacks, it's going to need a pullback at some point. This is what we need. Breakout, pullback, go. I need the same kind of thing here. This is going to be important. All right, if these prices keep going up, we're going to get inflationary pressure. So we're coming up to like this sort of reclaim level, right? If it's able to do this, you're going to see an attempt back higher. Otherwise, I expect this to come back down and then have another go at it. We'll have to see again. Dixie, still holding. This still looks very dangerous for that upside break. I'll tell you what else looks very, very dangerous is US 30-year. This looks very dangerous for an upside drive. This is not good for the market. All right, so there's a lot of indication right now, unless we're going to get a huge failed break on the Dixie and on GC and on crude and on the treasuries here. I'm worried. But you know, at the moment we're in a weird alignment where everything's going the same way, which is very, very unusual. Okay, running out of time. I'm going to be quick here. Mag. Let me get rid of that. Slight gap down, not really going anywhere. All right, still in this chop, but you could say starting to break underneath this. So pressure here starting on Mag if we can't get back above VWAP. Otherwise, just a range. If they push and fail here, that's pressure on Mag. Semis, right? Same kind of story. Multi-leg up, gapping down. Support here, resistance here between the two. If we lose this, maybe a flush. If we pop and fail, maybe a flush. If we pop and hold, grind all the way back up. Remember, very volatile day today expected. Software, stuck. All right, most of the range is up here. Potential bleed there. We're going to have to watch what it does with everything else. If we look at the individual names, Apple slight gap down, but kind of holding on there or thereabouts. All right, again, into a range here. Peak formation high. Potential right shoulder potentially needs to come back down to here 320s before it makes a decision. So that one leg, two leg, we'll see if they find a bid here or not underneath all of this. Amazon, again, still in a range, same range. Tried to peak high. Doesn't look great here, folks. I'm going to be honest. That doesn't look too good. Goog, big drive out. All right, they're waiting for earnings tonight. We're back to this huge node on the yearly chart. We'll see. This is all going to be on tonight. Positioning in the last hour will be probably quite important on that. Meta, same story. A whole lot of hot fuss, but we're not really going anywhere for what's that? 1, 2, 3. This would be the third to fourth session of going nowhere. Microsoft, push up, bleed down, quarter bid, opening up, slight gap up in pre. We'll see if they hold PDC. Again, this looks like a whole lot of hot mess over pretty much nothing. Nvidia, same kind of story here. Tried to catch a bid with semiconductors coming back into these 205s. We'll see. This is the crack down here. That's why we've got this marked out still. So holding on, but just ranging. Not a whole lot going on. Tesla earnings tonight. Big drive out for yesterday. coming back to support here. We'll see if they hold this support line. Otherwise, sell off into earnings. Maybe they trap and then go on earnings. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Everything's on tonight. I would suggest today you just be very, very careful with your sizing and positioning, and be very careful looking for continuations today. Very, very careful. Right, let's pull this up. I'm just going to triple check this expected move here. 28,878. 28. 29,443. Basically the cool wall. Jeez, that'd be a massive move if we did that upside. It's asking a lot, man. It is asking a lot. All right. All right, folks. I'm just going to wait for this open now. We'll see. Looks like some sellers were caught down here before the open. We did have some pretty big lots down there. All right, so worth paying attention to 170 or 184 lot and then 104 lot at the bottom. So we will see. Maybe some buyers got run out there and they used their liquidity to turn around. So I will pay attention to that. If we come back down here and we hold these sellers, maybe there's that drive up here for a retest. This is where I'm going to be interested today in general of, are we going to see that, or are we going to find acceptance? Better get my accounts up, hadn't I? Let's see. All right, folks. About 35 seconds here to open. Yes, having a nice drive out after swiping, holding its P2. So it looks like it's trying to get back up to neutral zone. Qs have got quite a long way. Qs to get to neutral zone after going to get up to 709s today. Semis are at neutral zone now. So both the ES and semis have a chance of, or look like they're going to go back into positive gamma, which will calm the day down a bit, which I wouldn't be against as we get into earnings. All right, here's the opening drive. Semi's coming for this 150 call wall. Let's see if they get back over that big psychological level on the Soxal. Man, it does annoy me when the system resets and it forgets everything. I've got like upper and lower fucking VWAP bands on everything, which I don't use. I love trading these sometimes, man. Just makes its own mind up. It turned all my call walls red today and my put walls red today as well. I mean, it's just mental. It is mental. All right, Soxal through the 150. Semi's getting smashed, breaking down. So we've got strength in semis, weakness in the mag, weakness in software. All right, so opening up with... Oh, it's forgotten this as well, is it? Oh, well, that's just absolutely amazing. Let's just get this on as well. Honestly. Honestly, TradingView, you do make me laugh. Zoom this in. There we go. All right, thick liquidity on the book here while it trades the open. Just let this settle down. And we'll see how we get on ES up to this neutral point of 540. Software trying to catch a bid after swiping pre-market lows at the moment. I don't know why they're saying semis are going down. They are. There we go. That's the upside move. I'm going to say they are pushing up. I guess it needs 1 minute candle to close. So we've got divergence here again with no alignment. Software weak, mag weak, semiconductors very strong, trying to close the gap. And they're doing the heavy lift here again on the Qs. Volume profile, yes, sorry. I'll get that on for you here. So looking, I want to see how we act when we get up here to previous day value area low. That's what I'm waiting for at the moment. Nice and patient. Entry was probably pre-market just under that 9 o'clock swipe. That's for the long. That's where the sellers got trapped. So I don't want to join too late. Yeah, semi's getting close to closing the gap here. That's what they're trying to do. Now, there is a shelf on the SOXL at 156, so we will watch that. New lows here for software, continuing to drive lower. So software definitely being sold while they're bidding semiconductors back up. Remember, we had an early they started doing this now. We're going to get early previews of earnings, apparently, to save the market. It's happened in the last few weeks. Early previews of some of the semiconductors coming out. And like, oh, we've got 80% growth and demand remains strong. And okay, why are you telling us now before earnings? Is it because you need your price higher, I wonder? Will I be looking for longs above view up? No. No, I'm not going to. It's too early right now to use the New York view up. I'm going to wait and see what happens up here at the moment. That's what I'm really interested in. Doesn't mean you have to do the same, but I'm just going to wait to see what happens at previous day's value. Because at the moment, looking at this drive out on an M5 and an H1, it's a very, very big drive since the 9 a.m., since that wick. We're already, what, like 200 points higher? So I'm going to have to wait to see what we do at value, whether we reclaim it or we let go. You're at previous day value area low. That's cool. Well, I use New York session, so. Just patiently waiting here. No worries, Phantom. All right, mag new low of day. They're trying to turn back inside, but they are selling at the moment. IGV selling at the moment. SOXL trying to close its gap with the upside shove. So semiconductors strong, everything else weak right now. Everything else weak. Oracle, notable bid the last few days. We'll see how that sets up. Okay, first pullback on semiconductors here. And I want to see how they act at 150. It's a shame we haven't come all the way up here. Software continuing to break lower. Mag is trying to catch a bid to get back inside here. Trying. But it's going to have to be careful towards the bottom of this range. Here's the bid on mag. So rotation already starting here. Mag back to view up. I think this is the target. It's just whether they have the juice in it in one go to get up there. Fairly muted open here this morning. All right, mag back to VWAP. I'm going to make that decision. This looks like it wants to try and get up here at the moment. That's what it was trying to do. It's waiting for a deeper pullback then to try and get long, but we'll see now if we're going to get going through the opening range here and expand this. They reset this as well. I'm going to start getting really pissed off. They have. No, that's okay. So if you are long, your target's 200. Big buyers coming in here. Big aggressive buyers coming in here at the highs. I'm kind of waiting to see if we come down here and hold a bid at the moment, or maybe even lower. Somewhere down here for a gut check. If I'm going to get long, I don't really want to get long up here. So I'm just going to be very patient. And semis might need a 150 recheck. I'm fairly confident my previous day value area low is correct because it's the same over on NinjaTrader, right? It's right here, basically 200. So I also did it pre-market on TradingView. You know, you trade what you're comfortable with, mate. But for me, that's the level. That's what I'm looking at. Again, still flat, nothing to do here, just waiting. Semi's coming for these 150 check. Oh my God, IGV getting absolutely clapped right now. Clapped. And it's coming down to that Tuesday the 14th level. And if it loses that, it's fucking big problems for IGV. MAG continuing to expand lower. It's a big rejection of VWAP on the MAG there. Semi's holding in front of 150. Again, we have no alignment here. It doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence here to trade right now. All right, this is way out of sync right now. All right, so IGV lower, semis pushing, MAG rolling back. All right, everything opening with a gap down. Remember, the neutral line is up here. That's your 0%. All right, so nothing's positive for the day. It's all about how much weakness. And this is holding the market up, because if semis were doing this with the MAG and software, we would be absolutely tanking right now. Okay, but we're not, because they are holding on for dear life. So there's lots of rotation here, and I will be as patient as I need to be. Yeah, MAG at low of day and software at low of day, and semiconductors at high of day. How comes using New York is better than overnight? I just have them separated, mate. All right, so for me, overnight, you can see value area high is here, value area low is there. But if you think about it, what are we looking at when we're looking at value? All right, what are we looking at? We're looking for high volume nodes and low volume nodes. We're looking for areas of acceptance and areas where the market doesn't find acceptance. Or what's the difference between New York and overnight sessions? One's got 1,000,000 times more volume than the rest of it. So I'm going to respect players where there's more volume than stuff where there's no volume, right? Doesn't mean I don't pay attention to the overnight session. I do pay attention to it. But same with the gap fills, right? I don't care about the 5 o'clock close. I care about the 4 o'clock close. I care about settlement, because I care about where cash players are positioned. Okay, 1,000,000 times more is an exaggeration, JD. Okay. But you get the point, right? There's a notable difference, isn't there? All right, MAG trying to find a bid here at these lows. Software the same. Doesn't look good out there, folks. Isn't it the man rule? What's the man rule? You say it's 3 times bigger. Well, we had the chance to go into a very volatile day, and then semiconductors went, hey, no, we need to get to neutral zone right now. And they've done it successfully. So up to value, this was the drive. So if you were long pre-market, like I said, the long was from here. This was the long. We held current week value low, trapped sellers. This is the long move all the way up here. I was waiting for like a little reset down here to buy a trap. We're not getting it. Okay, semis at the shelf. And then they've got gap fill, 159, cool wall, 160. SMCI is a super pumper. Yeah, well, it put out pre-earnings, didn't it? This is what I was just talking about. Apparently, we're going to do that now. Oh, we've got amazing sales and stuff. Oh, I'm telling you, our sales and demand for us is amazing. Don't wait for our earnings. We're going to tell you right now. What the fuck is this about that started 2-3 weeks ago? Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, what is that about? That's shady as anything when they do that, if you ask me. Absolutely shady. Okay, so if you were long, this is your move. You want to be trimming some up towards this put wall and value area low. And if we get inside value, you can think about this move all the way up here potentially if we get back inside value. For me, it's pretty ugly slow drift at the moment. Doesn't look great. And I would imagine they're going to rotate it, and semis are going to close the gap, hit the cool wall, and then probably pull back. And then we're going to see IGV and MAG do the work. And then, you know, what happens then with NQ? Do we keep driving higher, or does it just respect the semis, or does it go sideways then as we rotate? That's the question at the moment. I would love to be long. Fucking down here somewhere. Any retest of this would have been good. Kind of wild when you look at this, right? 60% of the market going absolutely nowhere. In fact, breaking down. And semis doing the work. Right, opening range now set. There's your push. All right, now if you find acceptance inside of value, we're going to keep moving higher. Let me just adapt this a little bit. No, don't move that one. It's this. We need to move. All right, you want to be careful with this block. This is an LVN in here. Now, if you slice straight through it, it would be great, and you can keep going with your runners all the way higher. So here we go, MAG and software trying to find a bid now, and semis are about to close the gap right now. This is value area high from overnight. So your TP1 in this zone has been hit, and you're now looking to see, basically, very simply, will it find acceptance back inside of value? Can you get up to previous week value area low? If you can we get acceptance for a move and rotate yesterday's value? This is an LVN on the current week. We might well fail up here, folks. It really depends what they're going to do with these lot. Semi starting to pull back after pretty much closing the gap. They missed it by a tick or two, but they're all thereabouts. So just be aware of that. No big buys up here yet. This is just a slow push and grind higher at the moment, folks. I would have loved to have been a buyer if it would have come down a bit today. Now, for buyers to main control, you've got to hold a bid over 160, 150 right now. As you can probably hear in my voice, I'm somewhat uninterested in the market at the moment, unfortunately. All right, software back to VWAP. Mag just pushed back to VWAP. Little rejection there again. The concern I have right now is if software and mag reject VWAP and make lower lows and semis fill the gap and then pull back, this thing will give the whole move back. There's mag rejecting. If you're long, it's got to hold 150, 160 for you. Otherwise, you go back into rotation. Okay, fail break above previous day value. They're at low now. So if they held 150, 160, they should come and retest towards previous day value area low. And if they reject that, I will consider short side if we can have some form of alignment. Mag, that is a big rejection on VWAP on the mag. So 150, 160 needs to hold for bulls. And if they can't reclaim 200, that would be a short trigger here. So I'm watching this if they do give a short trigger. At the moment, they're holding on. There's the pot that's starting to fail. Opening range now. Big seller at this low. Don't love that. Why is there always someone fucking this up? Big seller at the high, big seller at the low of this candle. Oh my God. So someone slammed the high at 203 with a 70 lot. Someone just slammed value area high with another 70 lot. Seller. That's why it's putting me off taking the short right now, because I want to see absorption from sellers, not just very aggressive players instantly. So I'm waiting. Buyer's still in control here, 150, 160. There's another rejection up there. I'm concerned about this seller who can get stuck, though, here at 170. So I'm watching this now. And the first big buy we had this morning was at 60. So 50, 60 to holds buy-side pressure. Considering the short up there, but I don't think it's ready just based on what's just happened. Right, so I could show we've got a big lot seller at the high, big lot seller here, and if they keep bidding between this, these guys will get frustrated. I'm trying to be patient here, folks. Another big lot seller here. They're trying to force it down, but we're not moving lower. So there's buying absorption here at 150, 160. Once they let go of that, we can talk about it. But the problem now is as well, we've created a pretty big shelf here on VWAP. And buyers can trap and let that come and go again. Mag trying to get back up to VWAP again. So it's going to be a second attempt to get back up to VWAP here. SOXL starting to find a bid to close its gap. All right, it missed its gap fill by cents, like small amount. Might regret this. Might regret not taking this. IGV about to break low of day. Semis rejecting VWAP again. SOXL looking for that push higher again. Those sellers are currently caught. This on view so you have an idea. All right, let's do this. We have two lots of sellers. Really? What the fuck is that? Seriously? All right, there's some selling in here. And there's one guy up here. All right, and we're not breaking down under them, which is telling you that there's someone absorbing the tape in the 1560 zone, right, in the LVN. The story right now is buyers are trying to hold this LVN, but they can't find acceptance back inside of previous day's value yet. IGV new low day, MAG new low day, semis pushing higher. I mean, this is just, it's crazy, isn't it? When we see MAG breaking down and the NQ just pushing and pushing and pushing. That has been the story recently. It's why you have to understand, if you're just trading versus the MAG right now, you're going to get your ass handed to you. So there's a pushback inside of value. Trump says Americans support the war. What Americans are you quoting there? I'm interested. We just say things nowadays. We don't give any statement to back stuff up. I thought it wasn't a war anyway. My interpretation was it's a little outing, a little excursion. It's now a war that they support, is it? Does make me laugh. Yeah. Let's see how they support it when oil breaks out and yields break out and they can't afford to make the payments on their cars and their houses and can't afford food or energy. Let's see how they support it then. Fucking wild, man. The absolute nonsense the media says. All right, semis have now gap filled. MAG broke down and have found a bid. All right, so sort of a failed breakout of the low here. I tell you what, while this faffs around for a bit, I'm going to just go and get myself a little drink. I'll be right back. There we go. All right, so the understanding of that LVN helped. And the sellers getting trapped. All right, it's why we didn't short. Could see those sellers being silly in the LVN, not getting their way. MAG now through the gap. What's next for it? Previous day high next. So 160. Cool wall, previous day high. Now, I'd imagine there's a little bit of a wiggle there. If it breaks through that, then its next pivot is up towards 166s. And if it breaks through that, you're looking at 170s. There's no more call walls in there at the moment. This is a pretty big move for the Soxal. So 160 previous day high, your level on semis, and then you need to watch like breakout versus fail breakout. We are almost at previous week value area low. So if you're still holding your longs from down here, I'm a little bit jealous for you guys who got that pre-market. I mean, that was so good down here. It's like really, really good. Compression, this was the move. Compression, fail break lower, put walls, sellers got trapped. There's the long trigger. That's the long. And we've just been non-stop move higher ever since. Would I recommend SMH, SOXX, or SOXL, which is more accurate? Well, there's no accuracy. They're weighted differently and have slightly different things inside of them. If you just want single weight, yeah, SMH or SOXX. Reason I follow SOXL is because it's a highly traded instrument with the options chain. So I like to see, like, most people are leveraged up right now. Okay, understand that. Right, there are more ETFs on the market than there are stocks on the market right now. There are more traded triple and double leveraged ETFs than there are single traded ETFs. So retail is being very, very crazy right now. And as you might have seen in the in the some of the Asian markets. What's just gone on there? Seriously? Oh, for fuck's sake. As you might have seen in some of the Asian markets, we're starting to see an unwind of get this back on, of some of the leverage. Right? It's not a normal market right now. It's very, very highly leveraged, highly volatile market. Yeah, like the COPSI. Okay, 160 tagged, SOXL. I'm going to watch how we act here at previous week value area low, but no doubt about it, we've reclaimed previous day's value. If they want to rotate the whole of value now, they can. It's going to make it very hard for me to get a position in here. IGV trying to find a bid. MAG still just holding out down here. Won't break lower, but can't get back above its VWAP right now. We look like we might go for that gap fill. Someday we just add Soxel chart to watch it trading because it's so big an impact. Well, that's it. That's why we have it. Like I have it on a monitor over here. You guys can watch it here. I mean, look at that. Here's your mag going nowhere. Here's software in a breakdown. Remember, these are flat. There's your semis. All right. I don't think NQ looks like either of the other two, right? NQ doesn't look like this or this. It looks like this, doesn't it? Right? It looks like this. It's literally semiconductor world. That's what we're trading. It's a one pony horse right now. One horse race, one pony, single pony doing the work. One trick pony. What indicator that is? That it's not an indicator. It's just a chart, mate. I did a video on it last night. If you want to see how I'm using it. And more liquidity high to fill. They're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing this by the looks of it. ES breaking out to the upside as well. So we're seeing a nice rotation this morning. They're bidding finance. Healthcare's down. I'd imagine energy's big up today. I haven't had a look. Yeah, there we go. Energy's up big off the oil news. So that's the story of the tape. Healthcare not really doing much. Finance looking great. Industrials looking great. Defensive stocks looking great. Utilities looking great. And MAG not. Semi's trying to claw back. Okay, there's previous week's value area low. Now, next stop, if you're still long in this, again, I'm still fucking flat right now, which is starting to frustrate the hell out of me. Shallow pullbacks today. Your next stop is to look for this. All right, gap fill would be 317s, previous day point of control 334, and then previous day value area high right at previous day high, right at the high of day. Now, the thing is now, they're going to pull, if they pull SOXL back, they're starting to find a bid in the other. And this is what I mean about the rotation. Does the rotation, have they been smart, sold software, sold the MAG, bid semis, pull the semis back, but aggressively bid the other two and hold this market up at highs when semis sell off? It's possible. It is absolutely possible that they do that. Why is ES so bullish? I quite literally just showed you. Look at energy. Look at financial sectors. Look at the energy sectors. All right, healthcare, energy, ripping. All right, you've got to understand what's inside of what you're trading. They're very, very different assets. AMD is the main one. What, driving higher today? Not really. 1.35% up. I think there's some bigger earners out there probably. Netflix, nice notable bid today, 2% up this morning. Hood as well, notable bid today. Right, SOXL rejecting cool wall at 160, starting to reject PDC, and we're starting to see the bid come back into the MAG and IGV now. So it really depends. I don't know what they're going to do here, folks. If they sell off with the SOXL, or if they allow the MAG and software to do enough heavy work that they hold this up. I genuinely don't know what they're going to do here, because they've been very smart in how they've rotated this morning. And definitely this LVN has been chomped through. It came right to the top side of it. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to do a thick node here instead as grey. And here we go. So under PDC now on semis, and MAG and IGV VWAP trying to do the lift. Big seller coming in here at 50s or 48s. I will consider this for a sell if we start letting go, if we get alignment. Very unconvinced right now, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're being very, very clever with how they're moving these at the moment. Very clever. The moment we started, look at this here, the moment we started pulling back on semis, we've caught the bid on everything else. They're being very clever. The buyers will want to hold 210 here, down here, this shelf, and keep these sellers stuck. All right, MAG rejecting VWAP. It didn't like that push to VWAP. Semis failed to take out previous day high. They are now starting to catch a bid on their M5. Still think it's got more in it here. I don't think it's ready for me to short, and it's not in a position where I want to long. All I wanted to see today was a dunk down here a little bit for me to long. Somewhere closer to value area low from the session. The old day, AMD, the old game, they said they made a deal with another AI company to cover the fact that none of them make money. Yeah, well, it started happening again, hasn't it? Where they're like, we've just announced another, 100 billion contracts with this person. We're going to sell them X amount of million chips, and we're going to do this. And the other guy starts, oh yeah, well, we're going to employ this company to build this silicon for us, and we're going to do this. And it started again. It's how they work. But it's kind of come down to debt, honestly. That's what a lot of people are going to be waiting for. What is the CapEx spend? Like, earnings on Google will matter, but what will really matter, people want to know the CapEx spend. Alex, one of the members yesterday, called a gap down to 29K. Yeah, they asked if it was possible, and I said, yeah, anything's possible. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a very big gap down. It would just been a retest of the range. And it's what we had. Yesterday was not the day to short. I told everyone in Discord yesterday, yesterday's not the day to short. Today could have been the day to short if they held it up high. Unfortunately, they did it in Globex. This is what happens. Train left the station. Can I do a video on how to set up trade copier on NinjaTrader using Tradeify? No, I can't. Sorry, I don't use Tradeify. Trade copier I use as affordable indicators, and I trade in Ninja. I don't execute in Tradeify, so I can't help you, my friend. I'm sure there's tons of videos out there, though, Peter. All right, MAG through the VWAP. IGV through the VWAP. Semi's trying to hold on here. Seller again tried to attack this market at 48, not getting his way. At 48. seller came in here, somewhere around here. I don't love the excess here. There are sellers starting to defend this little node at 260 though. It's tempting to have a go here. Thing is, if you're going to short this, you've got to cover some into 220 and 212. You've got to protect this. You've got to respect this LVM. There it goes. Fuck me. Semis. The moment I say it, it does it. It's 30 points already. Might get an entry at some point today. Never know. Never know. I think they will clear out down toward 210s, and then they might rip it back higher. I'll watch if pops fail here into 53s just for this clear out of 210s, which they just tried to do it. They're trying to wick this low to get a wash down towards 210s at the moment. Still protecting the low. There's buyers on the tape at 25. I'm waiting to see if we lift towards 50s and fail before we take this low at 230s. If we take the low first, it's going to be kind of nothing in it, and even then it's going to be a scalp. And semi starting to try to find a bid here. Mag rolled over again. Big rejection of VWAP. Software can't get through VWAP. Watching to see if buyers come in and get caught towards 250s. If they don't get caught, there's no trade. It's as simple as that. It's counter trend. Didn't lift very high there. That looks like it though. All right, let's see. This 225 is going to be key here. There's the potential break of it here, and then a wash down to 212s possible. Still haven't washed this low. There's a buyer still just sat here. There's the wash of the low. Now, if they reclaim this and go up, you can't trade it. I never got my fill. Sat, waiting. Brother, I'm long, you cut that out immediately. Oh, for the wash. Yeah, but it's only a pullback. Like, I don't know where you're long from, but it's all right, starting to reject value for the day now. And here's the move down towards 10. So again, I didn't get filled. Waiting at 50s for a pop up towards 50s never happened. So you want to pay yourself between 20s and 10s, and then you want to see if it rotates under 200s. Again, couldn't get filled. What are you going to do? Market doesn't like me at the moment. Doesn't want to give me a fill at all. Glasshopper? Or do you mean grasshopper? What's a glasshopper? All right, another seller coming in at these lows, being absorbed in front of 210s. Right, in this node. So we almost got there. You hit what, like 15s? You almost got there. They might shove this right back up now. It's not a short now for me. Move's already happened. It would just be a scalp to 210s and see if it could go lower. We reclaim now. It's not a short. It's from an old TV show in Kung Fu. Oh, sorry. I wasn't aware of that. My bad. Yeah, I'm watching Oracle very, very closely at the moment. I am watching Oracle, but the problem is the debt issue. The debt issue is starting to scare everyone. It's possible we put in a bottoming pattern on the market in general, but in terms of a pattern, but the bigger macro outlook doesn't look good. All right, here's the squeeze back up now. Our buyers really will want to hold 44s here. Semis back at PDC. They're trying to get over PDC. They fail PDC, it would be a lower high. They're yet to take out previous day high, which is what they want to do. MAG looks like it wants to take out low of day. IGV is just back to the mid. See if they pull back an old 44s and trap more sellers here. Semis can't get through that PDC. No, mate. I can't trade this. It's way too late for me to long, and I don't like the short. I'm just going to be extremely disciplined here. The short I wanted happened overnight. The long I wanted happened before I got to the desk. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Quant stocks interesting. I mean, they are, but like, you know, they've been nuked. So we're going to have to wait for, you know, if we're going to trade quant stocks swing, right, you've either got to put some risk on, be okay losing it and walk away for 5 years, or you've got to wait for the market to be risk on. There's a lot of like, people have very different views on the market right now. Lots of people think this market has had a pullback in time. It's gone sideways for a while and that we're going to start to drift higher. Lots of people think there's lots of indicators saying that the pullback is finished and we're ready to move higher. Then you've got the other side of it saying, hey, well, why is US 30 breaking out? Why is Dixie breaking out? Why is crude going back up? What's going to happen when the inflation prints are hot? You know, how can we say that this market's bottomed when there's a good chance of real meltdown in the market? So there's so many factors right now. So if you include all that and you think, I'm going to be risk on a very risky asset yet to be proven, like the quant, it's hard. Too bad we can't bet on sideways. You can with options. You can with options if they're tradable. I don't know how many of those names are tradable with options. I haven't actually looked. Defaults is a big thing right now. The swaps. That's going to become a very big thing the next 3 months, I would say. All right, new lower day here on the MAG. IGV rejecting VWAP. Semis can't get through back PDC, but they're trying. This might be a no trade day for Alex. I don't want it to be. MAG lower day. Semis rejecting PDC, and we're right back to previous day's value. If they can't hold previous day's value, we rotate the whole thing back down again. So basically, buyers need to find a bid here. Very strong selling coming in here again. And this thing's just completely flipped. Look at that. All of a sudden, everything went into a sell. Now, if they hold value, they will try and rotate. It's happening so quick. Apparently, we don't like to confirm anything nowadays. We just like to tap and go. ES back to New York VWAP. 540 neutral zone on ES. MAG continuing to bleed. Fresh lows on the MAG. And this is all going to be about semiconductors now. All right, they poked up. They hit the 160 call wall. They're now stuck under PDC. A little bit of no man's land here. Do we bid on value? hard to justify it at the moment. There is another seller again down here. That seller is right on value area low. I think we're just going to rotate the whole thing back down here, probably down to 150. They ain't making it easy today. H1 pullback to RBS would also be 150, 160. So maybe we can see that move come in. That would be the test of the W on the H1 if we can do that. If we think about this, all right. They're going to hold this move maybe. If they let go of this, rotation again of current week's value again. So I'm interested in longs here if they can hold. MAG continuing to make new lows here. Big buyers just stepped in on the tape here. We're just going to chop here for a bit, are we? All right, let's see if we can hold 211s here. Where that buyer just came in is 135 lot. There's the 11s. Watching this now. See if someone wants to absorb it or not. MAG continuing to break down. It's so hard to pull the trigger long here watching that on the MAG. Semi's back to PDC. All right. Are you going to get involved, Alex? We held 11s-ish. Thing is, if we don't hold previous day value, we rotate right the way back down to 150. All right, I put a piece on there. We'll try small size. No, instantly don't like that rejection at 20s. We've got to get back above this buyer at 20s. Come on, you got to get above this buyer at 20s. All right, that's good. All right, moving my stop break even just in case we swipe and then give back. So I'm long here into the 12s or somewhere around there. We see I'm going to have to watch 55s here. Nice, that's good. Semis look good. Let's see if semis can break out through the 116 previous day high. And we don't really want to give back under 32s here. It would be nice if they held 32 print and then came up and filled the gap. Mag's bearish, yeah, but semis are trying to break out. So, like I said, stops in the money. Either we go or we don't, and I think it's fine either way. There's a little imbalance down towards 32, so to be aware of that. Previous week value area low is 270 here, so that's the first target, I guess. I haven't got enough size on really to take stuff off there, so I'm just going to sort of trail a little bit and see if we can get up to 310s. We've completed this pullback now. Sellers are now stuck. Right, once I saw this seller stuck, I wanted the pullback to hold him. We held it, and we're just going to see if we can drift up now and get to the gap fill basically above. Here they go. All right, come on, semis. All right, moving my stop up to be protective here. So we're up about 40, 50 points now. Not bad. Let's see if they can accelerate this, make a new high day and close this gap for us. Lots of liquidity here. Like to see pullbacks hold 45s here. If we can hold 60s, it would be even better, but 45s is okay. If they need to come down to 34s, they will. I will stop out if they do that, though, and re-add back in. So that you understand this, we held VWAP. We've left these sellers caught still. More sellers got caught. We waited for a reaction, held the LVN. We get long. There's the break. target 1, target 2. If we get very, very lucky today, target 3 up here. And I'm being very careful because we've got a rotational market right now. Again, size down because all that's leading the charge, semis are leading the charge. We have lower highs and lower lows in the mag and in software. All right, so we don't have alignment, so I'm being very, very careful today. Nice trading, able to copy the move. Nice work, mate. Yeah, we had to be very patient today. It's the first time I've seen, like, I was interested here. I was interested there. It's why I didn't get short there. But I just didn't love the setup at the time with the rotation in here. But this time I was like, do you know what? We've got to put some risk on. If this wants to drift higher, so be it. Right, like I said, there's an imbalance down here towards 35s. You want to be careful of a failed breakdown semiconductors. They just took out previous day high and they're pulling back. That might be it for the day. It might be it for the day. All right, I'm out here. Try to hold some more size. Now, if semis start to break down here after taking out previous day high and we get continued sell side pressure in the mag and software, we're going to get a rotational play underneath all of this. All the way back down. Semis back to PDC. ES then took out previous day high, failed. All right, we'll see. I'm actually going to be more interested in the sell if we start to let go now. Now that semis took out previous day high. They're trying to base on PDC, so just going to be patient here. They're making it very tricky with how we've positioned the H1. I will say that. The H1 is a buy in this zone. Don't really have alignment. All right, mag trying to catch a bid. Is it beneficial to get the beginner to advanced course on its own and buy the order flow stuff later? Yeah, the beginner to advanced course is 20 hours. It's very, very in depth. Teaches you like structural stuff, what I'm looking for, how to understand the market, my sort of trade book setups, and gives you access to Discord. I'd say it's worth the money just for Discord alone, to be quite honest. But that's me. Maybe other people in chat can answer you. Right, what we have now for the first time today is a buyer. Yeah. Did I take the trade? Yes, Shlomi. We just took longs from here to here. That's all I've been able to get so far. So they're rejecting previous week value area low, but they're holding previous day value area low. So weekly traders are trying to keep us under this. Daily traders are trying to create this move. This is the battle right now. H1 traders want to hold 150, 160. There is a big battle on the hands here. I'll show you. If we zoom out, it's going to be easier to show you. Right, H1 still has the ability to hold this and go. Daily traders, right, are trying to find acceptance back inside of this. Right, that's yesterday's profile. The daily traders and H1 traders would like to get this move. Weekly traders are trying to reject this and say, get the fuck out of here. No, they're trying to use this as a bull trap to go lower. There's a good chance we do a whole lot of chopping today now. We're just going to have to pick our moments very carefully today. Right, ES right the way back to VWAP. Big fails on ES. So ES is slidden much, much lower right now. We might rotate 150, 160 here to test that H1 and test those VWAPs. Very possible. Semi's still holding on. They're holding PDC right now. Mag, fresh low of day, keeps bleeding and bleeding and bleeding on the mag. And another lower day on the mag. So let this sink in. Equally weighted mag, 1.20% down. NQ, 0.36% down. So that's a heavy lift today from semiconductors. ES VWAP, RBS retest here. Big level. Amazon crossing. So that thing's getting hammered. It's letting go of a key level here on Amazon. Just got a alert. Let's just quickly check that. Oh my days. Into these lows again. Okay. Being patient here. You can see we're forming a very, very high volume node here. Very big node. No acceptance above, no acceptance below. Buyers protecting this, sellers protecting this. This is the day at the moment. That's what we have. Am I bidding Amazon? I'm already long some Amazon from quite a while ago. It's not a trade for me. It's just an own. It's a stock I just want to own. All right, Semi still holding PDC, coming back for 160 challenge again. IGV failed to make a lower low there. That's holding on. It's just mag with weakness right now. What I'm waiting for at the moment is to see if we go into alignment of a buy or a sell with semiconductors and the mag. That's when we're going to get a better move. Otherwise, for you range traders, this is probably beautiful. All right, if you're a range trader, really what you should be doing is buying this and selling this. That's all you need to do right now. I'm not a range trader. I avoid this stuff like the plague. What about SMCI? Yeah, I mean, we all know it's pre-earnings, right? Pump pre-earnings. They gave a pre-earnings release, I think. P1 is was a put wall, yeah. Let me just look at the anticipated move now today. 2943 and 29,000, so still 400s. I don't think we get that high, but it's possible. All right, ES trying to hold 24-hour VWAP. Semi's back at the 160s again. They look like they really want to break out of 160s, but if they fail to break out, that would be 1, 2, 3 attempts to break out of 160 previous day high. So far, we have a failed breakout of previous day high, but these are choppy conditions for us in the market. We're inside initial balance. We're inside value areas. We're rotating. We've talked about this many, many weeks. I was hoping today would be the start of the sell. They got it last night. We've pumped up without filling me because they did it at 9 a.m. and we're into rotation now. Just be patient, folks. Do not get annoyed. Do not force yourself. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, looking for continuation in this market is probably going to hurt you. All right, when we're seeing the market rotate, we respect it. We go risk off. We size down. We take what's in front of us. 800 lot seller coming on the tape here at 262.5. Let's see if he's legit. That would be the imbalance, would it not? It would be above the imbalance. It would be in the low volume node. It would be up here. All right, it's an 800 lot. You see the levels, you just can't take the trades. Then trade paper. Get used to trading it with no risk. Then start trading it on an eval. Right? Because what does an eval cost you? $50, $100. Trade it with a micro on eval. Just get used to taking the trade. If you use someone like Lucid, right, there's no monthly fee for the eval. Right, just get used to taking the trade. It's a muscle memory. It's like going to the gym, right? You're not going to go to the gym and put £300 on the bench straight away, right? If it's your first ever day in the gym, you've got to first learn the body position, the breathing, do it with no weights on, get used to how that feels. Then slowly, like £5, £10, £20, £50, £100, right? It's the same with this. It's exactly the same, guys. It's just muscle memory and control. Where did I spot the 800 lot? He's right here now at 62s. We're about to fill him. I can show you if I can get onto Bookmap quick enough. He's right here. See this 800 lot? He's right there. So they're coming right into him. He looks legit because he hasn't pulled. So to fill him, remember, we're going to need to have... Oh, he's pulled. He ran away. Now, did he juggle higher? No. So either he's a spoofer or he's a liquidity provider. Dom Pro, you'd see him on the Dom Pro if you were looking at the ask, mate. If you were looking at the ask. But he's gone now. He's just pulled his bid. His offer, sorry. His bid. All right, semis, previous day high attempt again here. Mag starting to turn around now, folks. Now, Mag can come back and back test 66.5s here. So let's see if semis actually have an intention of breaking out above previous day high in the New York session or not. Like I said, range trader's paradise right now. If you just bought the bottoms, like we talked about, right? Think about this. There's your big D. If you just bought the bottoms, you should have sold the tops, shouldn't you? As the LVN, all right? We don't trade the middles. Buy the bottom, sell the top. Sell the top, buy the bottom. Buy the bottom, sell the top. Sell the top, buy the bottom. All right, that's your range. I don't trade ranges. I hate them, but they are a legit setup. Some of you absolutely love them. I understand why. Guess who's back? 800 lots back. He's now offering at 287.5. So I'm guessing he is a buyer in the market, right? I'm guessing he's a buyer in the market trying to use his liquidity to lift price higher right now to attract it. Once it gets close, he's starting to sell some or lift some. He probably wants higher prices. If he was a seller, he'd be walking down right now, not walking up. Why do I hate range trading? I do not trade it well, my friend. My stats of range trading are not as good. It's more choppy for me. I like trading momentum. I like trading follow through. I like trading traders that are trapped. That's just how I like to trade. That's where my edge is. I don't want to get a club out playing golf that I'm not very good at. I want to get around that golf course as close to par or under par as possible. If I start using clubs I'm not good at, I'm going to put it in the bushes, in the ponds, get frustrated, have to drop another ball, etc., right? All right, ES back to VWAP and RBS again. Mag holding on. That's a second failed break of previous day high and 160 from semiconductors. They're still holding on. There's no follow through to the downside, but undoubtedly that's a second attempt to break the high and failed. A look above and fail so far on semis. Have they put any more call walls in? Yes, they put one in at 200 now. Fuck me, that's a lot higher. Weekly active resistance, yeah. It's also... is it current week as well? It looks like it's current week as well. It's funny, on the hourly I have current week higher, but yeah, we're coming into top range of the current week and bottom side range of previous week. All right, Semi's having another attempt at the breakout. Mag are also trying to put in a higher low for the first time and test 66.5s. If MAG start to test 66.5 and semis break out, you will probably see the move up into here. All right, so those of you who keep buying the lows and selling the highs, if you keep buying this LVN and selling this, there is a chance, if you get alignment of MAG and if semis can hold above 61s here, that you get this move. Yeah, ES is fighting VWAP. It is fighting VWAP, and it's potentially going to go negative gamma on the day because it keeps rejecting 540, and if it starts dropping, it will. But it does have an RBS zone. If you look at the pivot high it put in at 6:30 this morning, right, it's still holding it. That W shape it did on ES. If you zoom out on a 5-minute or a 10-minute, you'll see it. It's still holding the top of that range. It can still be bid here. This can still be a pullback that holds. If it fails that and fails New York Open, then it's a whole different story. But hopefully I'm keeping you safe here, if nothing else. It's a boring day. Unless you bid the Open or before the Open, you're probably somewhat bored. All right, another failed break. I'm going to show you this so you can see what I'm looking at. This is the work right now. All right, this is previous day's high. This is previous day's close. They're still holding this pivot and they can't get through this. This is where it's stuck. Fails this, maybe we get one of these. Breaks this, the next wall is right the way up here in previous week high, so it's got room. And it's all on this right now. And there's so much strength in this side of the market right now. You have to be very careful thinking about a short. IGV, new lower day. Let me see here. What I haven't done this morning is check my spam. Is there anyone in this spam? Oh God, there is. Okay, Dean Martin, if you're here, I've just seen you in spam. Sorry, mate. Get this done for you. There you go, mate. Just that's done for you, mate. Anyone else in here? Yes, Tyler. I don't know why. Is there a way of changing the spam so it doesn't filter so much? Tyler, I've just seen you as well, sorting you out. You're on a different email thread. There you go, my friend. Okay, back to previous day value area low again. Another failed breakout of 160. Back to PDC here. Strong selling coming in here. If they wash this, they're going to come and attack 74s. They can still bid this LVN. This can still be a bear trap down here. It's from the H1 level, it's very dangerous to short here. So they've made it very, very, very difficult in alignment right now. H1 can absolutely bid this. I will watch to see if they pull back and fail 200 to 220 now, if they are going to offer the short. So value area low tagged. Here's the pushback. Now, if they reject this shelf here, I will consider it. If they reclaim the shelf, there's literally nothing to do. It would be a fail break lower, an H1 hold, and a pushback into range. And semis have caught a bid. And that seller's still at 87. There's the reclaim of 200. I'm so unconfident in this move here. I feel like if I put risk on short here, it's just going to rip straight back to the upside through the range at the moment. All right, semis PDC again. I'm just waiting to see if they fail PDC. I'm trying to be patient here. Short from 260. Well, that's the right side of the range to be short. That's much better. And you can hold that if they keep rejecting 205s to 220s. I need a pop up here and see buyers get stuck and not getting it. Okay, semis under PDC. That's the first good sign. I'm going to try and save it. Yeah, they saved it. PDC. Waiting here to see if they pop up 205 to 220 if they sell that. If they don't sell that, then I'm going to assume it's a long all the way back up to high of day, but let's see. Yes, melting. We're also going to look at shorting the strongest asset when ES has already pulled right the way back to an RBS and is coming back to New York Open. ES is all the way down here, folks. Very, very different markets right now, thanks to the semiconductors. All right, MAG looks like it's going to test lower day here as well. Let's see if we can get 205 to 220 and if they stuff it. That's all I'm waiting for at the moment. There's the 200 test. Zoom this in. All right, I've got a starter on just in case we don't push up high enough. And we need to see fails underneath value area low down to 153. This is point of control for the week. If we let go of that, we're going to get weakness. If we don't let go of that, it's going to be a tiny scalp or break even. ES trying to find a bid on New York Open. So I wait to see if we can snap 170 here and wash. There's lots of bids down to 150. So I'll be proactive for scalps into 150, 170 to 150. Again, they've just absorbed 170. So value area low still being bid. And semis just say PDC, and they're looking for a 5-minute break upside. Reduced size straight away here, folks. Don't like that from semiconductors holding. That's absolutely awful. And they're going upside, taking this off. I'm going to wait. Oh, more rotation. More rotation. Look at that. Suddenly, semis. Oh, hello. Yes, we're back. We're going higher. Yes. This is a problem. I'll be so flipping careful with these lot. Right, 220 test. Semi's going for higher day. They're going to break out now. Semi's going to go for it. This is what I was saying. This can easily be a bear trap down here. Should have probably just got long on value. Higher day coming on semiconductors. MAG turning around. We might get a new leg higher here if they do that. Mag turning around, semis pushing, software trying to bid off the lows. That's the story of the tape. Failed to break lower, higher day attempt. Can they do a 30-second? I seem to be struggling lately. Not really. I've had some. Last week was amazing. Monday was really good. Yesterday I probably forced a little bit, looking for the move early. Fine. Today didn't give me the move I wanted. It happened overnight, and then it happened pre-market. Like, it's not the question I'm struggling. I'm managing my risk, trading what's in front of me. That's trading. I'm not going to win every single trade all the time, especially when we lack alignment. Like I said, probably should have got long looking at that H1, but it's hard looking long on an H1 when mag's at lower day and IGB is breaking down and semis are still stuck. $160 cool wall here again on semiconductors. They're looking to lift and break higher day now. They've put in a higher low on the M5 now. They've swept PDC and held. It's just a question of whether they can get above 161s again. It's the same story. This is all about this. This is all this is. This is everything right now. This is it. Right, so we had weakness under PDC. We reclaimed. And they're looking for this move here at the moment. And up here can be a fail break, but if they can maintain it, look at the cool wall. It's a long, long way away. I don't know if they're going to do that or if we finally get the wash back down, if they're like, let's take some profits. But until it's ready, it's making trading this very, very hard. Because if we look at the mags, all right, we're down at lower day. We look at IGV, we're down at lower day, right? They're very different charts right now. And these are how we're rotating the market. Just think about this. We're selling software. We're selling the Magnificent Seven. And we've been buying up semis. And so this is holding up surprisingly well. You compare this to ES. Look at this pullback. Peak formation high. Very nice. Lower high, lower low, lower high PDC, lower low, VWAP, 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 RBS zone. Right, RBS zone. Here. I need to change the color of it, but you get the point. That's a much nicer trader today. Much, much nicer trader today, and it's in negative gamma now. It's just how it is. All those terms M5 H1 from order flow? No. M5 5-minute, H1 hourly. It's fairly standard. Yeah, if ES gets above 540, it would be positive gamma, but it's not there yet. I mean, it poked up there this morning and sold. I think we just range a little bit. What stocks would you watch for Confluence for ES outside of MAG? You'd want the ETFs that are in MAG, that are moving the MAG. So you'd want an energy ETF, you'd want a financial ETF, you'd want healthcare, so XLF, XLV, etc., etc. Another failure of 160 on semiconductors. They cannot get through 160. We are going absolutely nowhere. This session's taking a long time. I'm tired of it because we're not really going anywhere. Mag's gone into a tight range now on an M5 as well. Been down here for 30 minutes. If it can get back to VWAP and break higher, maybe the market will lift with it a little bit. At the moment, it's just stuck. Choppy ocean waves, yeah. And this morning was good. You know, the opportunity, like I said, the opportunity was here this morning. This was a fantastic opportunity if you were here pre-market. There were huge 140 and 170 lot sellers at these lows. Okay, there's the compression, there's the failed breakdown, there's the put walls, there's the recovery, there's the hold of Globex, there's the drive. All right, all I wanted this morning was some kind of tap back in here to see sellers get restuck or buyers hold. All we did was shove, chop, shove, chop, shove, and now we're chopping. It is what it is. I don't feel disappointed at all today. It's just I can only trade what's in front of me. I'm pretty fussy in these markets to look for good trade setups, because when I'm not fussy, all right, and even when I play small stuff like here, we get stop run, right? Because that's what the market's doing. It's rotating. The price is making lower high, lower low. Okay, it is, but we're not leaving value. Do you know what? I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm saving my breath. I'm not going to get into it. I explain value rotation and sector rotation all the time. I'm not wasting my fucking breath anymore. Waste my breath on idiots. Okay, Mag trying to break out of this range for the last 30 minutes for that upside move to test 66.50, 66.60 and VWAP we talked about. Soxil still going sideways. Still rejecting VPOC. Still holding value. Rejecting overnight value, rejecting previous week. Can't get closures and weakness underneath previous day or current day. Soxil looking like it's trying to let go of PDC again. This is where it bid out from the last time though. And semis are trying to get that move upside now. Mag is trying to get that move upside for relief now. So I'm interested what they do here if they rotate. Now, if we vacate previous day value area low and current day's value area low gets increased for downside pressure, we can look at the same trade we tried a moment ago. Show me that you only look at M1 without telling me you only look at M1. PDC reclaim there again. Mag looking like it wants to try and get out this range. Good hold of 24-hour view up. Yes, so it's going to do the view up to view up dance. Nice, Brandon. Great work. All right, here comes the upside lift. They're testing the overnight range again. And semi's back to that 160 again. And we've held current day and previous day's value again. So the value rotation still taking place here. They're still pivoting between weekly traders and daily traders. No alignment yet. Alex and you, sorry, what do you see when you look at the H1? Okay. H1, right, the last few days. Pivot low, outside of daily Bollinger. Reclaim, multi-leg, back into pivot, where we broke down from a 3-month range. Today, held current week, pivot back up. What's this structure here? We can hold this structure here. So regardless of what fucking idiots want to talk about who focus on a 30-second chart, it's absolutely clear to me that the H1 is able to hold this pivot, which is also point of control from the current week, which is also point of control from the huge range at the moment, right? So they're trying to get this lift upside, which is starting to happen now, which is starting to happen now because H1 beats M1, all right? Hourly beats M1. Hourly pattern beats M1 pattern. Oh, did we just hold value? Did we just hold previous day's value? Is the mag breaking out from that 30-minute range? Is it about to test 66.50, 66.60? Is Soxal back at the 160s? Hate to say I told you so. Get out of my chat. Long trigger, well, the long trigger was probably on the reclaim while I was just talking about it. I'd guess if they hold 225s, it's a good sign. You're really going to have to watch the semis, though, right? You have to watch these semiconductors. 160, 161. I mean, they cannot break through here. They are attempting again, but that's the move. So, like, if we pull back and hold now, there's a chance of getting this move, but we're just going to have to see. And, like, MAG are coming for a retest, and this can squeeze right high now. We've done a huge amount of consolidation here. And if we get over previous week value area low, remember, we can still rotate yesterday's value. It's a shame I just got caught talking because I would be long in this. And let's just see now if there's a way of getting involved. What are you talking about? It's making... Yeah, shut the fuck up. What a waste of energy I have to do each day. All right. Hopefully some of you knew what I was talking about and got long down there. Very nice. Right, previous week value area low is your target. Through their initial balance high is your target. Semis are now breaking the 161. MAG is up towards 66.5. 66.60s are possible here on the MAG. You have alignment for relief here if MAG keeps going, and this will increase the squeeze factor, and semis are getting going. So you want all pullbacks on semis now to hold 160, 65s to 160s, right? And your targets are right here, and then up here for gap fill, and then we can see if we can get runners above that. Yeah, lots of you get the long because lots of you turn up here each day and know what you're actually doing because you listen. The spoofer on the tape is there again. The seller, who I'm saying, I think he's a buyer on the tape trying to attract price, just lifted again. So he's hoping price comes higher. Remember, you're towards the top side of the range. So if you've got enough size on, you might as well pill some here because we're still, regardless of what people say, in a D-shaped range where we're finding no acceptance underneath and no acceptance above. So if you did get long here, you want to pay yourself some here. Would I add on this pullback? If it holds either 45s or 26s and MAG holds the pullback and SOXL holds the pullback, I would consider it. But we're pulling back now on SOXL towards previous day high in 160, like I talked about. That has to hold. You're still in a range. We haven't broken out of the range. So you'd watch this LVN and you'd watch this shelf here. So far, so good. Right, 400 lot seller now at 287. So he was 800. He came off the tape altogether. He's put 400 on. Let's see if he actually wants to fill 400. Is spoofing illegal? Yeah, if you can prove it's illegal. But, you know, how do you prove it? Where he's like, well, actually, I thought better of it. Thought price was going to go higher. And so I pulled my order. You know, can't really do a lot about it. All right, that pullback held this LVN. 57 lot buyer at these highs. There you go. Let's see if we can fill this guy towards previous week value area low. I'm long in that pullback, but I'm tiny size because it's fucking awful positioning, unfortunately. Here we go. So that's your TP1. Right now we're looking for high of day and gap fill. Fantastic from semiconductors. Absolutely beautiful from semiconductors here. And you can move your stop up into the money. Ideally, they hold the 60s now on the pullback. That's where a big buyer just came in. Now I put this in again. All right, we've got a buyer up here at 60s. We'd like to hold 60-ish on a pullback. Would be good. Good sign of strength. Otherwise, it's going to come back to 45s again. They're trying to hold the 60s. If not, you're going to get a little flush down towards 45s again. They're trying to hold the 60s here. It's a good hold. There you go. That buyer came back in again, and he's going to try and push up to 87 to fill his 400 lot. Be careful with the mag here. All right, be careful with the mag here because this can still be a giant bear flag. All they're doing is testing that previous low pivot at 66.5 to 660. So you want to get your stop in the money. Hopefully, we get higher day break, which will get us PDC, and then we can go. If we get very lucky through previous day close, we can get up here. But we want to be trimming. All right, you need to be trimming some profits here, here, and here. All right, this is target. Projected move for the day, max move is up here. I don't think we're going to get there unless they absolutely rip semiconductors here. Hopefully, I've helped you understand why the market's moving the way it is. That's all that matters, right? You need to be trimming some here. Yeah, 400 just moved up again, 324. Like I said, he's trying to attract price higher. That's why I think he's a buyer. He's not a legit seller. He's a buyer trying to attract price higher. What you probably see him do is putting limits higher, but he's selling small limits along the way so that you can't see him. Right, so he's using liquidity to attract price higher, so people think, oh, we're going to get there, and they keep buying and buying and buying to get there. And then what he'll be doing is selling a little bit, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. So it doesn't matter if it ever gets there. He would have already got his position out or his core position out. It's the oldest trick in the book, mate. Wow, it's crazy how quickly we rotated that thing, which is definitely not a range. It's definitely not a range. It's definitely going lower. It's definitely not holding value from previous day or current day. It's definitely not doing any of those things. It's definitely not an H1 level to bid off. I must be a fucking idiot. So what won today? Did the M1 win or did H1 win? I wonder. All right, I would move your stop aggressively up now to protect value now. You want to be protecting 73 to 65s. Would I consider a long from initial balance? Probably not, no. Not on a day like today. This drive can get sold into when it's finished, so... How did I know? AJ, we just did it. We literally just did it, my friend. I'll do it again. All right, what is the structure of this? All right, where's the sell point? The major sell point is either here or here. All right, this is your 3-month balanced range. This is where really smart sellers like me want to sell. All right, this is where you sold overnight. That's the sell. This is where smart money wants to sell. They don't want to sell down here, really. This is why we had to wait. What's this? Failed break lower, push. What's that pattern? Is that a bearish pattern or is that a bullish pattern? If you had sellers trapped down here, which we had, all right, and we pivoted above them and held, what's that pattern? It's a quasi, right? An inverse quasi. It's a higher low set. Very clear higher low set. Where's that higher low being set? Above point of control for the week. Okay. So above point of control for the week, inside previous days. Let's just make this make sense. Let me zoom this out. Think about this. This is where sellers are caught. This is where sellers were caught today. Let's remember this number. Let's just call it 160s, 180s to 160s, right? 180s to 160s. Let's go lower time frame now. All right. What's that level? Oh, where's your 160? 160 to 180. All right. What's in there? Current day's value area low, low volume node, previous day value area low, put wall. Okay, great. So we know that's probably support. So what's this likely to be? It's a range and liquidity build for H1 traders to lift higher, because silly people who think the M1 does the work had their stops here because they don't understand basic principles. And guess why we're lifting? Because that silly person just got wrecked, right? Because he's so zoomed in on the M1, he can't see the bigger picture. Same story all the time. Same story. All right, so we're into high volume node from the current week now. This is point of control from the current week up here now. All right, we want to be careful. This is a big, big node. You should have trimmed a significant amount of your profits. We've had the high of day break. We have this high volume level from the options chain. Above here, we go into positive gamma. The target above here will quite simply be filling this gap. I'm just going to make sure we haven't filled it on the Qs. We're very close. So if you're trading the QQQ, you've basically just traded from your VWAP put wall at 706 to 709. So your target is 709. Don't be a dick for a tick. Above that, we can start looking for 710, 715 if the market wants to get going today. Right, so your runners now. This is your next lot of targets. Right here, here was your TP1. Here is your TP2. Here is your TP3. All right. Was down 700 before getting on your stream. I'm back to break even on the long. Thank you, Alex, for saving me. Still not getting it alone, but slowly we'll get better. It will come, Willy Wonka. What I would say, though, if you've been down 700 and you got break even, I would say, mate, unless you're already in the trade and you're managing that position, you just be done for the day. All right? Be done for the day. Don't force another trade after this. A bit like me yesterday. If you remember me yesterday, paper cut, paper cut, paper cut, paper cut. Nice big 150 plus point winner or whatever it is. Basically scratch day, walk away. Don't force it. There's better days ahead, mate. I promise you. Once we get through these earnings, better days ahead. All right, look at Mr. 400 lot. He continues to lift, and I'll guarantee you he will keep doing it, and he's probably selling on each pop without you seeing. All right. Because he's not a silly Billy. He knows what he's doing. All right, mag coming for this retest. Remember, 66.5 to 66.60. We're almost there on the mag. So look what happened once we got alignment. All right. How much better is this once the mag started to lift and semi started to lift? All right, how much better is this? We got alignment for the first time today and we lifted. Literally just did that video last night for free on YouTube. You can watch it if you want, if you don't understand what I'm talking about. All right, there is your neutral zone. This is your TP2. All right, so from 304s to 316s, you should have taken a lot of profit. This can come all the way back down to 270s now if that was the target and if that's all they wanted to do. Bro, thank you. I got the entry past 10 Apex account evals with it. Nice work, mate. Let's go, Alex. I've been using Bookmap for the last 3 months. I found you last week and you made it so much more simple. Simple trading wins. Hey, keep it stupid simple, mate. That is it. The market is, we can make it more difficult than we need to because we start to convince ourselves that things are happening that they're not. But all it is an auction, right? That's all it is. Are we fair value or are we outside of value? Is it too expensive? Are buyers happy to keep walking it up, or is it too cheap and buyers are going to start absorbing it, or are we in a panic and we think everything's too expensive and it's sell everything? That's really what it is. And then it's just about positioning for that. Can we add here? Definitely not. I mean, you look, you can do what you want. No, for me, right? LVN is down here. Right, so even if it's going to be a breakout retest of the high, we're going to need to revisit this kind of area here. And like I said, these are our main targets. We might just be looking to close the gap. Like that might be done for the day, right? And if we lose this, what happens? Be a failed breakout of range, and what will happen? We'll go back inside the D again, right? Big D shape. That's your chop zone. For me, that's where we'd like try and avoid trading. It's telling you by the profile. But underneath this at the LVN, we talked about it all day. You sell this, you buy this. You sell this, you buy this. You sell this, you buy this. You buy this. You sell this, you hold runners. Right? If we hold above range, you hold runners. Mag's going to be very important, and it's starting to show. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm concerned about for it being the end of this. All right, this is pulling back to the opening range. All right, think about where we broke down from. There's the huge rejection, higher low, the move back to VWAP. All right, in here we have trap buyers from this morning. So if Mag now gets stuck and pulls back towards 66.30s, and if we see a pullback starting to happen on the SOXL, which is starting to happen, all right, then we might get a bit of a bleed back in. All right, so this is why we watch these two carefully. All right, we're into some supply here. This has been a big squeeze out. Look how many attempts it had at previous day high, previous day high, previous day high. Options, options. Finally went and held. What do we look for? Push, pull, hold. There we go. If we start pulling back to here now, and the mag starts pulling back to there now, we're going to get NQ rotate. If we can hold the bid here on flow zones and start pushing, 200 is available today if they really want to be absolutely bonkers. I mean, what do I know? What do I know? If we pull back to the low volume node and value area high, would you add more to the long? Like I said, it's going to very much depend what's going to happen in semis and mag, whether I feel comfortable with that. If mag breaks out of VWAP and then the pullback happens and it has the ability to hold VWAP and create an inverse right shoulder, I'd be more interested in the long. If that pullback happens and we're rejecting VWAP, I'm probably not going to be so interested in the long, because then it's going to tell me that maybe this is just a lower high being set in the mag. We will have to see. Reversal plays. No reason to be looking for a reversal right now, my friend. It's literally none. Zero reason right now. We haven't created too much volume up here yet. We certainly haven't left that volume. We certainly haven't got back inside of initial balance. We certainly haven't got back under previous week value area low. Are we visiting 29,300? We're already there. We're already there. Yeah, sorry. Hit the likes, chat, so we can do some giveaways at the end of the stream. We've got, what, 40 minutes left? Do some giveaways. Hit that like. Hit that like. No worries, Talia. Okay, Mag starting to pull back a little bit in front of VWAP at that sort of opening range level we talked about that I just showed you. No, I don't watch anyone like that, Trader Max. The only traders I watch, if I'm watching traders, are professional traders. I haven't watched people for a long time. But if I'm going to watch someone, it better be someone who's really going to push my knowledge, let's say. Or learn something that I don't know. You get to a point with trading where what you do is all like, look, I know how I trade. I know what I like. I know where I need to sit out. I know when I need to size in. I know when I need to leave alone. I know what I'm confident with. I know how to manage risk. Okay, so I don't need to learn. It's not like you ever stop learning. The market's going to forever teach you lessons, but I don't need to add more and more and more to my game right now. The only thing I want to learn a bit more about at the moment is options, which is what I'm starting to read about more and more. Because I do want to move at some point into probably, just doing some leaps and retiring. What are the name of traders I like to watch? I haven't watched anyone for a while, but, I used to watch like Ducks, Nate, Lance, any of those guys, that kind of crew. Alex, it's become a ritual for me to come here every morning and listen to what you have today. Every day I felt like I'm understanding more. We'll be buying the course on the first payout. Hey, congrats, man. Makes me happy. I'm glad you're understanding more. Look forward to working with you. How old am I? Well, I'm 41 next month. Old enough. When did I start? I started in my 20s, but I did stop for a long time. I had a career in music. Well, it might not seem old to you, but it seems old to me. I'm like, you guys who are middle-aged like me or older will know. I can remember my 30th birthday like it was yesterday. Like it was yesterday. It's crazy. Literally, I feel like I blinked and it went. What did I do in music? Here we go. They're squeezing up. All right, so you're almost there. You're through the gap fill now. Overnight high is here and previous day point of control. If we get really lucky, we're going to get all the way up to previous day value area high. That's where I'd love to get. Again, there's still a 400 lot trying to attract price higher at 350. Mag is at VWAP right here, right now. So we are attempting the VWAP move right here, right now. All right, this is going to be very, very, very important. Very important if we can find acceptance through this. I struggle to see us doing that without a recheck down here. Right, I would imagine we'll recheck here first, but if they just turn it on, it'll be great. It'll be great for us because our runner will finally go. We'll finally get a runner to go hundreds of points for the day. And I wouldn't let this come back below 73. There's an unfinished auction if it wants to come down to 58. So manage your risk accordingly. You don't want to be giving too much back here. You should be down to tiny, tiny, tiny size now. What were we saying? What did I do in music? I was a music producer and DJ. Well, I still am a music producer. I'm no longer a DJ. Alex, for someone who's not in a trade right now, what are the main things to look for? What do you, sorry, Alberto, what do you mean by that, Alberto? For the next trade setup, do you mean? Well, we've taken the low-hanging fruit, right? So the chance of more long here is diminishing by the minute. Now you've got to ask yourself, where was the best long position today? Right, it was pre-market. It was here, and it was here. It was here. It was here, and it was here. So if you're going to take a long now, we've taken the low-hanging fruit. Your long is going to have to be here. And the chances, doesn't mean it doesn't happen, the chances of this diminish versus the chances of these getting to here, because this is the gap fill, all right? This was the low-hanging fruit for the session. And remember, MAG can pull back under VWAP like I've talked about. So really what you're looking for is either this. If you're going to play short today, it's going to be very hard. You're going to need volume trapped at the high. We have a tiny bit here and not much else. And I would say shorts probably get absorbed down here unless, right, we poke up and there's a big failure and then we start to trap buys here and we can look to see if we get acceptance under value to rotate. But at the moment, what we have to now do is respect that in here, anyone who's a seller is now stuck. The easiest move now is an upside drift. But we've had the low-hanging fruit. You've got 40 minutes left. So I'd be watching to see if sellers get caught here. If you're adamant on an add or getting a new position. And the only other trade that you can take is if we reject value and we start rotating. And that's not the easiest trade. Otherwise, you just got to hold on or be flat and be okay being flat. Has AI changed music producing? Oh my God. I think I talked about this a while ago. There is a website. And I think it was like 108 songs that have been used by AI. And let me find it. So like machine learning, just like using people's catalog without asking them, which is, I'm going to stop swearing one day, which is ridiculous. How is that legal? How are you just allowed to use my catalog to teach yourself? Did I give you permission? I don't remember giving you permission. See if I can find it here. Where did he send it? AI watchdog. Here we go. Right, still holding the drift here, looking good. Higher the better. ES. So I'm gonna move this down. It's breaking out. Okay, next target for you on ES. ES is at high of day. If you get the IB high push, your next target is Cool Wall 1. So 560 to 565. Next target for ES. If you're trading the spiders, 750. Biggest Cool Wall on the spiders today is up at 753. That would be nice. That would be very nice. It's also the highest call open interest up there. So hopefully we can get up there. MAG is at VWAP, like I talked about. Right, let me get this up. Should we put it here? AI watchdog. What do I do now? The Atlantic. I'm going to get this up on the screen, see if we can figure it out together. Can't see where to check the songs. There's a way of checking the songs on here. Oh, they've put a subscription behind it now. Now you have to pay. Of course you do. Now I need to pay $100 a year to check. Guys, I have to take this call. I'm really sorry. Let me just take this. Must be Pocket Dial from my mother. Anyway, there was this site, and they basically investigated the AI use and how many songs they've taken it from. And you were able to check. And when we checked, I can't remember if it was 108 or 138 songs out of our catalogue had been used. Why are prop firms futures based and not stock based? There are stock based ones, mate. You can use stock based ones. If you use Trade the Pool, that's a very big stock based prop firm. All right, we're coming up to current week value area high. So let's have a look at the H1. What does the H1 look like? What does that remind you of? Okay, what's here? There's your H1 flow zones. There's your pivot. There's where sellers got stuck. There's the holder value. Where are we coming? Back to this high. What can happen if we break this? Well, we can think. Maybe they do it on earnings. If they're going to let me draw this out, we can think about if they're really willing to shove this. Where does a measured move get us? Oh dear. All right, gets us right into the LVN, measured move. I don't think we see that today, but it's possible we see it on earnings. And this is still naked up here. So it's possible. Now, the problem with that, if we do come up there, unless there is a harsh rejection and we see this, this will be a return into the 3-month chop. And this will be a failed look below. And if we do that and we start to hold, we will be long biased, okay, in that chop. That's why understanding higher time frame is so key. It is absolutely key to trading. As a beginner trader, I'm currently using my own money, but should I use a prop firm funded account thing? Yes. If you're a new trader, stop. Stop right now. Stop using your own money right now. Save yourself the pain. You're going to have to fall off your bike and break your arm and break your bone and smash your nose up and crack your head a few times. You want to do that with as little financial exposure to the market as possible. Prop firms will allow you to get that financial exposure for as little as $20, right? You're using your own money. You're going to make much, much worse, harder lessons. Trust me, I did it. Tens of thousands of dollars, tens and tens of thousands of dollars blown up real money. So don't do that. 400 lot, yeah, added more size on. Yeah, he's trying to attract the price up there. Where's he at? 87s. He's up here. Just kind of, what the fuck is up there? 87s. He's kind of at that H1. Oh, he's on the shelf. That's where he is. He's here. Right, he's right here in this shelf. These wicks. He's selling this at the moment. Like I said, I would imagine he's been trimming his size the whole way up. Right, it just feels like a small cap. This is what they do. So imagine you're focused on the lower time frame, all right, and you see an 800 lot seller here, or he was here, right? Okay, and we come up to him and he lifts and he puts it here, and we come up to him and he lifts and he puts it here. But you're convinced we're going lower because there's a 800 lot seller. So you're like, we're definitely going lower. There's a guy selling. No. He's got no intention of selling. What he's trying to do is make the price come up to him. Now, if you want the price to go higher, do you think you're a seller or do you think you're a buyer? You're a buyer, right? So he's probably a buyer here. He's probably been a buyer here. He's probably been a buyer down here absorbing this morning. Now, if he can attract If he can make price keep coming up towards levels as he keeps flashing higher, and retail see him and they keep bidding and bidding and bidding, what he will do is unload in each pop, right, without them seeing. He probably doesn't even need all of this filled. He's probably already out most of his size now. That's just the truth of it. He's got the move he wanted. Because why is he selling up here if he was willing to sell down here? Right? He's taking his profit on the way up. The higher, the better for him. It's how you manipulate the market. It's just the oldest trick in the book. Okay, starting to see semis fail that supply zone. If they start to fail 63.75s, there is the chance for a bigger test back down towards 61s again. And look at the mags. All right, we might start to see this pullback now, folks. Where are we stuck? All right, like I said, it would not surprise me to see the mags at least pull back towards these pivots. Even if they're going to build a quasi in, they're probably going to have to come down here before they do it. So we're starting to see failure there on the mag, and on semis, we are starting to see the first failure up here, starting to pull back a little bit. If they lose this pivot, either you're going to see this or you're going to see a bigger pullback. That's why we trim the profits. You do not chase price. Bearish incoming. I mean, look, lower time frame is pulling back. Like high time frame is pulling back. We don't know anything beyond that right now. All that we know, what are the certainties? We're above value. We're inside previous week. We're inside previous day. We're above low volume node. We're above initial balance. That's all we know. We're long from down here. If we start breaking this, rotation becomes possible. All right, we have to see. We're not buying up here. Like I said, we're paying ourselves into these levels. Low-hanging fruit's gone. It's gone. So either buyers absorb down here and try and get back upside, or we're going to see a full rotation and we just cut everything. So if we can't hold IB here, then I think a little pullback down towards 70s and 60s happens. And look at the MAC, rotating lower now. It's going to form, it's going to have to put in a higher low. It's just rejected VWAP. All right, and semi starting to sell. So look at the confluence. What has just happened since the peak formation high? All right, semis, lower high, selling. MAG, lower high, selling. IGV, selling. All right, but it's just a pullback until we know what happens down here. Again, we are just in a range. I don't care what anyone else says. That's what we're in. We're in previous week's range and we're in previous day's range. That's all we're in right now. How much is the average eval? Probably $50 on average. But if you get something in the sale, you can pick up a 50k or maybe even a 25k for as little as 19 or $20. It's the cheapest way to get into it. It's the cheapest way to get into the market to learn. And that's what you want to do. You want to learn. You want the best education possible, which is time on the screens, for as cheap as possible, which is probably an eval or sim. But you know, if you have skin in the game, you'll probably treat it with a little bit more respect than you will with nothing in the game. Apex eval's now $25 for a 50k. There you go. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? All right, lower high set here. If they can't get back above 310s, we're going to see a second leg. So we're starting to build out. I'm going to move this slightly. This guy can move up to here. In fact, let's delete it and redraw it. Right, now the chances are very simple here. This or second leg down. I'd prefer second leg down just in general. Then I can assess how we operate in here. We're running out of time now, to be honest, into lunch. I'm kind of uninterested in doing anything else now. I'm out of this now, and I'm kind of uninterested in rebidding this. How to treat an intraday trailing drawdown account. You just have to manage your size. Right? Do not oversize. If you oversize on an intraday trailing drawdown account, you are going to get whacked. Even if you're right, you're going to blow it up. If you don't oversize, you will be able to sit through the P&L swings comfortably. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to take the maximum profit at the key areas. So rather than holding runners, right, let's say you were long down here, right? Rather than holding runners, you better have got like, I would have just rather taken everything out at PDC, for example, or everything out at previous week's value. Because what you don't want is that to come back, right? So you want to take out at your peak high, which means basically the moment you hit a level, just take it off or move your stop really tight, right? Or just trail a stop, trail a stop, trail a stop. Okay, I'm out. You just have to manage the risk slightly different. You can't give it as much fluency of like, oh, all right, I'm willing this to pull back 30, 40 points when I'm up 80. You don't really want to do that. Funding Daily is better than TPT Note intraday. Well, TPT intraday is only on the eval, and the difference is their daily payouts are not capped. So, horses for courses. All right, how are we doing on the likes, folks? Jerry, I've just seen your message. Give me a second, my friend. Sorting you out now. Will I be looking at to trade after hours? I won't be looking to trade it. I'll be looking to see what the market does with it. I won't be looking to actively trade earnings. Flip of a coin, mate. Let's have a look at Goog. It was showing weakness the last few days, coming back in. Still in that huge node. There you go. Still in this fucking massive thing here. I mean, this is a really bad look. This is really bad. All right, you've got buyers trapped at all-time highs. We had a breakaway gap. We partial filled it and sold off. We put in a pivot low, holding the old high kind of formation here. We pivoted up. We rejected again. We finally closed high, and the next day we poked into the LVN and sold. And everything else has been sold. That's a bad look. That is a really bad look. We're just in a range here, and it doesn't look very nice. I mean, I don't know. Even if earnings are killer, right? Even if earnings are killer, my worry is the moment we get into the call and they say, oh, this is our CapEx spend, unless they're decreasing their spend, all right? And then you have to ask, as a market, okay, let's say earnings are killer and, hey, we're going to change our AI model. Like, it's been a bit irresponsible, a bit like Meta, right? And we start to get this move. Okay, great. So the MAG, we start to rotate into MAG. If they're going to decrease their CapEx spend, what's going to happen over here? If everyone's like, nah, fuck that, what's going to happen over here? And what's moving the market? So it's understanding like that macro. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think these are getting ready for another leg. Not that I want to see them do it. Not that I think there's value up there, but I can't help but feel that we're going to have one more shove up into October, that this has been a pullback in time, that's been enough for this market. They're like, hey, we've pulled back 24%, and we're ready for an extension higher now. I can't help but think that that's going to come into October. I would much rather the market look at all these gaps that are still open. I mean, there's so many, but hey, it doesn't matter what we think. All that matters is what happens, right? All that matters is what happens. All right, they're bidding LVN. All right, now your strength, here's your second leg, like I talked about. Like, if this was not into lunch, I'd consider this, right? This is where buyers need to protect. Now, you would want to see sellers get stuck down here and acceptance back above this shelf. That's confirmation then that we've left sellers stuck, that buyers have absorbed, and then we can look for a bigger move. The problem is what? Low-hanging fruit's gone, and we're coming into lunch. That's why I'm personally uninterested in it at this point. Just when you're buying, if you want daily payouts, make sure you pay attention to which one you're getting. Oh, you're talking about FZT&x and the different ones, yeah. Sent an uncle for 440 joules. Can someone explain these to me? What they look cool on the screen. What are they? I'm 41. Explain it to me like I'm a 16-year-old for the first time. What are they? $11.05. Yeah, you saw this. You mean these guys? This seller caught 70. Did I do it the wrong color? Price is this 71. I did it the wrong color. My bad. Yeah, there. There's delta divergence here and there's seller exhaustion down here. There's a chance that buyers might step in here. If it wasn't lunch, I'd be more interested. Look what's happening on the mags. All right, we're starting to put in that attempt, and VWAP will be here. So that's what mag's trying to do. Remember, pull back off VWAP is expected. Get used to like seeing this kind of stuff, guys. First attempt to VWAP after a day like this. We're not just going to blast through it. It's very unlikely. All right, we have liquidity built out here. Here's the trade up. Here's the pullback. Where did we say? Okay. Is anything there surprising? Not to me. I said that was probably likely to happen. If it really needs to come deep, it will. But if they can do this move now they have the ability to lift because they've pulled back and held, and they have the ability to now slowly try and make that move up back higher. They don't have to do it, but that pullback was highly probable to take place if you understood what was going on in the broader market. If you were just looking at this, it's probably a little bit harder. Can we please get the likes up, folks? We need at least 1,000 likes, 1,200 for Apex giveaways. Can we at least get to 1,000 so we can give away a free introduction to Trader course? Alex, what's your opinion on Apex? Been waiting at least 10 weeks to move to a live account. 10 weeks. Oh, mate. That's ridiculous. I mean, normally they do take months. Every firm takes months. 10 weeks is quite a lot. Can we get a giveaway? Yeah, if you do the likes, we can do the giveaways. Thanks for the flowers. Can someone explain to me what all this stuff is? What are these flowers and things that you're sending? They offered you 3K to walk away, but you prefer live. What total are they going to allow you in live? What total are you carrying over? Do I avoid live accounts? It's better not to go into live accounts where possible. Other than Take Profit Trader, that's a good live account. Because you still have stringent rules. And at that point, you're better off. If you had your own money in your own account, you're better off just trading it that way. Thanks for the stream. Still learning how to manage risk and have some big ups and downs. Hopefully take the course soon. Just slow down, Chris. If you're still learning how to manage risk and you have big swings, just slow down. Slow down and slow your size down. Okay. So MAG looking much better. Put in the higher low. Looks like it's trying to do a quasi. Running out of time, but looks much, much better. 5 minute, make it look easy. All right. That looks much better, doesn't it? Think about this. I want you to learn this for next time so you'll remember it. Very simple. They are willing to hold this. They will try and attack for an upside drift, right? If they can't hold this, we'll move down, back down to here, and then they'll have another go. But this move here was probable. That's why we talked about it before it happened, right? Not after the fact. Not a video on TikTok. That's how we do. I took this trade right here, but I'm telling you after the fact it actually happened because I didn't really trade it, didn't really take it, and I'm going to charge you $1 million a month to be in my live stream. Trade with me for free on Discord, but charge you $1,000 a month actually to get in there, and I will take all your money and spend it on a Lambo and tell you I'm a really good trader, but I'm really not. That's how we do. Fucking clowns. That's how we do. Oh, God. Just TikTok and Instagram is just the fucking worst. It's just the worst place in the world, isn't it? It's just terrible. I really like YouTube. I just feel like I used to like not argue with my wife, but my wife would always be like, "You need to do." That's not how her voice, but it's how it sounds in my head. You need to do shorter videos and teach people the basics. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do that. I want serious traders who want to show up each day, who are willing to put the hours in. There's a reason most people in my Discord are my age or older, right? Because they're either retired or they're looking to retire and they've got time and energy and understanding of value. I'm not interested in, no offense to you guys, spotty 16-year-old acne kid who's like, I'm going to trust this guy with a fucking perm on his head who still drinks Alco Pops and lives with his mum. Get out. Get out. All right, you're back above grey box. So what do we say would happen if we're going to see strength? We'd come into LVN. We'd support LVN. Buyers would step in here and try and get a lift. And now they want to protect above this. All right, this is the shelf. And if they can do that, there is the chance to move higher. Again, the problem with this is both time of day and that low hanging fruit has gone. So I'm uninterested in it. But if we hadn't come up to these levels, if these levels say we're up here and we had an hour left or something, then yes, bidding this and bidding this would be a really, really good option for us to move higher, which is very, very similar. Really, when we think about it, it's like a micro version of what we had down here. Right now, if they lose the shelf, everything changes. That's why we manage risk. Was it Ducks? Yeah, Stephen Ducks. I mean, I don't trade small caps anymore, but I mean, if you want to watch a fucking pro push some serious size in small caps, I don't think there's a better trader around. Maybe Nate. I don't know what kind of size Nate's trading nowadays, but like Ducks is something else, man. Something else. Ducks' stuff is difficult. His teachings are not very good because English is not his firstborn language and stuff, but all he's looking for is the same we're always looking for, right? If we're playing small cap reversals and trying to get up here to draw you, all right? Like, you're very simply looking for a blow off top and a first bounce short, right? Doesn't matter what time frame you're on. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for retail traders to get trapped at the high and a blow off, right? Just like this. Right, this was a short I took earlier this year. All right, blow off, first red day, short, see ya. All right, and even now, look, we're trading these levels here. I've had here since 2020, 2021. Look how we bounced, rejected the same level in 2026. Bounce, why? These are bag holder levels. These are where I can go back to 2021. They're going to be the same levels. Look, these are where bag holders are still in. All right, if they didn't get out because they're so stupid, that's where they're still in. So what we'd like here at some point for a new short opportunity would be a very, very aggressive re-squeeze, right, and a short. And this isn't even a small cap, but it's a tied up float, heavily manipulated float. Yeah, I mean Lance is a good trader. I like listening to his stories. I don't know if he posts that much useful information. Honestly, the best stuff with the old chat with traders. That was some of the best stuff. Very, very. They've got much better again now. Now that they've changed hosts, it's so much better again. But if you go to the very old chat with traders, the stuff with SMB Capital, Mike and all those guys, it was very good. Okay, failing previous day point of control. Buyers must step in here and hold it. You're 7 minutes to lunch. All right, if you don't hold this grey box, you're going to see rotation. Mag now. Guess what's happened? Okay, high or low. Kind of try and attempt to get up here now. This pivot here is important, all right? That's your pre-market low. If we can get through here, we're going to find acceptance back into pre-market levels, opening range levels. It's important, all right? Soxal. Lower high starting to come in. No crack yet, but peak formation high and has not been able to reclaim. That is looking potentially dangerous for a bigger pullback right now. So I'd say if MAG start rejecting here and SOXL puts in a lower high and a lower low break, you will probably see a bigger pullback in the Qs now. Because the alignment will suddenly be for a sell. Are we there on the likes yet, folks? Bang, 1,000 likes. That's a good start. Okay, so we can give away an introduction to trading investing course. We need another 200 likes to give away an Apex account, though. Let's keep smashing that like button, the thumbs up button under the screen. All right, type course once in chat. We'll give away a free course here. As a previous orb trader, I've really liked volume profile stuff. Yeah, mate, like it would kind of make sense to you. Even if you're an opening range trader, let's say you're an opening range trader and you maintained being an opening range trader. Even if you just put the profile on the first 15 minutes, all right, oh, no way. All right, once you broke and pulled back, you held point of control and value for your opening range. There's a little free gift for you. Right, you found acceptance to push value higher just of your opening range. Little free gift for you. So if you want to keep trading orb, there you go. Penny, you're taking a piss. Who are you calling a horse? I'm a university student graduating next January, computer engineering. I'm working so hard on myself and my trading. I'm always here simply because I enjoy your streams. I trade with my own style and plan. Nice, man. Good work. Congratulations and good luck for your graduation in Jan. Thoughts on trading? Like, I've got no like negative things on trading orb. It's a legit strategy. You just need to define your risk. There are better ways of trading orb than just having a blank high and low, right? If you understand what's happened within those 15 minutes, like I've just shown you, it will help you. What's happened in that opening 15? Everything's an auction. What's happened in the open 15 minutes of the auction? What's the order flow told you? Are you holding above value? Is there a clear I mean, if you're just trading the orb blindly, right? Let's say we're about, I'll give you an example. This is why it's important to go higher time frame. Let's say, right, we're opening here, right? So we're going to open at previous day's point of control, right? And we're just doing this, right? There's not much room here, is there? If previous day's value area high is up here, this is a premium price. The chances of a breakout to that become kind of small, all right? And the chances of getting under an LVN become kind of small. So we're just going to chop. So I'd say understanding where your opening range takes place, first of all, then understand what happens in that opening range. Like I just showed you, the first 15 minutes today, right? There's your opening range. Okay, so we have a P-shaped profile in the open. That's bullish. So first thing, shape is bullish. Second thing is we break out, bullish. Third thing is we pull back. Where do we pull back to? Point of control, value area high of the P shape, bullish. Then what? Okay, we have New York VWAP here, bullish. All right, great day here. Probably if you're opening range or pullback to open range to be bullish. It's a great day to be bullish. But you have to understand what happened. If you saw, you know, for example, look what this is from earlier, right? We had a seller at the high, seller, seller, seller. If you remember down here, I said these sellers are going to get caught. They're going to get caught. I wanted a move down here today to buy. It didn't come to me. It's okay. These sellers are likely to get caught. Why? Because they're selling at a really stupid area. We've got good positive flow, right? So you put it all together. However, if this here was a very aggressive buying and the opening range, maybe the P shape was up here, let's say that was the opening range and we're pulling back, do we want to buy the midpoint? No, we don't. We don't, because they're trying to buy it and we've got buyers stuck overhead. So it's putting a narrative together. It's not just two lines on your chart. It's putting it all together. Like this, same thing, right? If a bid develops in LVN, right, it's a strong look. Did sellers get trapped in here? I haven't looked because I've been talking to you, but let's have a quick look. Maybe some selling got trapped in there. All right, here's the negative delta. See that below? Selling, 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 point of control. Bit of excess here. I don't trust TradingView. I'll have to have a look on the other one. Push, pull, hold. Okay, and then what happened after this? Oh, more selling got absorbed. Look at all this strong selling down here. Where did it get absorbed? Oh, on the pivot. No way. All right, that's the buy opportunity. Like I said, if it was a different time of day and we hadn't taken low-hanging fruit, I would have been much more willing to take it. But managing risk at the moment. All right, should we pull this winner? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After all that, grey horse or horsey. And you still have a 626 lot seller at 350 and a 1,200 lot seller up at just above 87s right now. Let me know you're here, Grey Horse. Nice, man. All right, introduction to trading on the way to you. All right, it's only a 2-hour course. If you haven't traded before, it is pretty useful and it does give you a discount for the main course. So I'm going to make a note of your name. And all I need you to do is email me info@flowzonetrader.com and send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. All right, buddy? info@flowzonetrader.com. Alex, what kind of PC do I got? A lot of RAM. I can't remember. I built it from scratch. But yes, decent size. High spec. You want the beginner to advanced course for Christmas? You'll have to see. To see if we do give away for that. Too much data. Yeah, you probably need you probably need more RAM or a better graphics card or something. How do I manage time swing trading and day trading? Swing trading really doesn't take much time. We haven't entered that much new for a while. We're really just holding positions and waiting to get through earnings at the moment. All right, folks. Where are we at with the lights? Can we do an apex? Are we there? We're almost there, folks. So there's about 100 of you or less that haven't hit the thumbs up. Just smash the thumbs up button underneath the stream right now. Right, all you got to do, not the heart button, the thumbs up button underneath the stream. I sold most Oracle on that first pop. I'm looking for a re-entry at the moment because it does look quite good. It is starting to show a willingness, but the problem is, again, the mag is going to really affect this with the capex spend. We still haven't undercut. I still don't like that we haven't undercut. All right, so the original trade on Oracle was here, and we sold a ton on this. Right, that was the original swing. Now, if we're going to do an expansion of this, it can go lower. All right, it can come right down into these, which is crazy, but it's possible. It's a debt problem. This is about capex spend and debt. Now, do I think it's going to be okay? I actually do, but I want to see an undercut and a reclaim before I think probably about anything else, unless they're just going to undercut this and reclaim, and then I'll just join in a bit later. I'm also okay with that, but I want to let it prove itself to me. At the moment, it's being sold off, so no reason to really get involved right now. Almost there, folks. Footprint, either a 1 or a 5 minute. I watch it 2 ticks normally. All right, we're there or thereabouts. Explain initial balance. Mate, there's a free video on my YouTube. You can watch it on there. It's a whole video I've done for free on YouTube. Just look it up on my YouTube. What was the reason I said no more shorts this morning, Alex? The H1. The H1. We'd missed the move had gone, right? This is the move. If you think about what we talked about this week, we wanted a Monday, Tuesday high. We wanted a Monday, Tuesday high, and then we wanted this first attempt to break into here as the sell opportunity. Okay? That was the sell opportunity while I was asleep. Once that happened, what do we have down here? Right? Here's value for the week. This is a failed attempt to break lower. Yeah. If we think about swing points, major swing points, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. We haven't devaluated that. We haven't come under it. We've pulled back 50%. This is a normal pullback. All right. So this was a very good opportunity to long. If we think about this, this is a pullback with a failed attempt to break lower into an RBS zone, into value with a buying opportunity. That was a buying opportunity this morning at 9 a.m. before market open. Was it 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m.? Right. So once we've done that, the morning shove confirmed We had sellers down here. We already saw them trapped, right? We pushed up, okay? We can't then short. We can't short. The opportunities from here to here, this needs to be washed out. This can now hold and base. Probable move is a long. Now, once this long's finished, right, anywhere in here, maybe there's failed follow through and then the whole thing collapses. I can't rule that out, but not down here. All right, there's no reason to be short down there at that point. Yeah, does that make sense? How do you get value for the week? Current week, you set it from Sunday, right? You set it again. These are all, guys, these are all on YouTube for free. You can go and watch this. You set it from Sunday open, from the Sunday open, and when you do this, you click extend right, okay, and you extend it all the way through the week, and that's showing you the developing profile from the Sunday open. All right, it's a big rotation right now with volume getting bigger as we get higher. All right, what we'd like to see is a poke and a fail and a rotation of value. It might not come this week at the moment, honestly. It might just be a slow drift higher all week. We'll see. It all depends on earnings. All right, are we there yet? Sound like a kid in a car. No. Okay, well, I'll do it anyway because I feel kind. All right, so just type FZT in chat. Just type it once. That's your best code for all your prop firms, okay, other than Take Profit Trader. But for everywhere else, code FZT will get you the best possible discount. Type it once in chat, we'll do a giveaway. Give you guys a minute to do that. All right. Let's pull this winner, folks. Winner is JJ Jade IT21. Is that JJ from Discord? I hope it is. That'd be nice. JJ, is that you from Discord? Or is that a different JJ? From Discord, awesome. That means I can just send it to you there. Nice, man. Well, free. Happy days. Free Apex account on the way to you then. I will send it straight after this. Nice work. Nice work. So close with the name Jay. All right, folks. That's us done for the day. Have you prepped for the afternoon, I guess? So have a little look at the broader market here. Semis are still holding on. They're holding pullbacks pretty well here. All right, it's still holding. You're still in supply. But they're starting to hold the pullbacks. Okay, until you see failed follow through, you'll need to see a failure to break a new high, which might be coming. All right, if there's a failure to break a new high, and this, you can maybe play this down to here. All right. I don't think they're going to fail under that and give the whole thing back. I think they've done a good job of that. So I'd imagine absorption down there. So there is failure down to that point. Now, at the same point, you'd want MAG to start rejecting back under VWAP. All right, and if MAG does a pullback under here, that will help. If we just chop this, they're going to build liquidity in this range, which means on NQ, if you get alignment, you're going to need volume trapped to come back down to this node again. Shorts are highly likely to be, as Jerome Powell would say, short-lived, right? Short-lived at the moment today. Easiest thing is just to hold the runners that you had earlier. Targets will be here for upside. I'm just going to check again the range for the day if they've changed it. $29,479. So the maximum move today, they think currently is 479. Pre-market, what did they think it would be? Higher. 447, so 450. Okay, so max move today they are anticipating is here. They're not anticipating more than that. All right, they're not anticipating more than that. I would say at the moment it's going to struggle to even get there, but your eyes are on semiconductors all the time. You're holding this grey box now, like we talked about. Dunk under, hold it. Everything's a drift higher. Don't fight the drift. Do not fight the drift, all right? If you're not in longs and not letting work, doesn't mean you have to be the other side of the trade. Very, very much like yesterday when I told you guys, do not force the short. It will come when it's ready. It's already happened overnight. At the moment, the H1 looks like it might want to clear out those previous day value area highs and have a little poke up above. So either be long in that or wait for the failed follow through or trap afterwards. All right, team. Peace and love, everyone. I will see you tomorrow morning. Please trade safe. There's no news scheduled today, but you never know what's going to be tweeted out there. Anything can happen. And yeah, thanks for a nice, great day again. Thanks for your patience. See you in the morning.